Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Star Wars CCG OCS event. I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as D1, D Tartag 1. Joining me right now, we have my legendary co-host is Garrett Larson. How you doing today, Garrett?
The Vikings won. I'm on the right side of the ground. It's a good day.
Speaking of your Vikings, how do you feel about Sam Darnold?
I've been specifically told not to swear on these streams, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
So right now we have Brian Fred versus Brian Jellison. Looks like Brian Fred had to restart his computer, so we should be good to go here in a second or two. Looks like we
I
have
just
them
let them
in.
know we're ready to go. So yeah, we've got Ryan Jellison as the 9 seed, got to pick sides first, so he's going dark side to start things off against Brian Fred.
And honestly, no real surprise here, as we see Ryan going with ISB, B Fred going with We Have a Plan. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm
Like I don't know who I like in this one, and okay, so Ryan is going to start Imperial Decree V.
my gut says this matchup favors Ryan a little bit.
That's where my gut's at right
But
because
basically, if he can enforce decree, he just needs to load one Naboo site, and he's going to cut Brian's damage so low that it's going to be tough for Brian to do much. However, this is
yeah,
definitely a different ISB
this is a
because we
Ryan
see
Jelson.
he carded with the 500 Republica
Yeah,
battleground site. So like, this is Ryan Jelson doing Ryan Jelson things.
and that's what it comes down to is like it's a Ryan Jelson deck. I don't know about you, but a Ryan Jelson deck is way different than your normal ISB.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the we'll see how this matchup goes. But I mean, he started Decree Virtual. At its face, I think ISB is slightly advantaged in the matchup simply because you can shut that damage down so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian's got to devote so many resources to continually kill those ISB agents because they
Agreed.
just keep coming back.
Yeah, and I mean it is retrieval, but it is retrieval that doesn't go into your hand, so it does take some time to get those back into your hand. But like you said, they come back, and one thing I don't like if I'm Ryan is you're giving Brian the opportunity to go to space as well. And Brian's B Fred's space package seems a little bit better than Ryan's.
It depends on what Ryan is running. Like Fred, WHAP certainly has the potential to have a real nasty space package with the Resolute and Yularen and Anakin. But
Well,
like we see that B Fred did not start the Imperial Navy.
no, but if this is anything anything like the We Have a Plan that Mike Kessling, who's a teammate of Brian Fred's, ran at the Ohio Mega Worlds from last weekend. They started to include the Endurance as well as Admiral Killian,
Yeah.
and again, those are two pretty good starships, and between the Resolute, the Admiral Killian, and then even Rick Olay in the Queen's Royal Starship, both of them are pretty good.
Yeah. How he didn't start Jedi business though.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't need to start Jedi business because you have Security Control V.
Yeah, I guess security control will get him a weapon
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, the only thing that Jedi business does is it
Reduces
reduces.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So
Give me a second. I'll work on that. I
oh,
don't necessarily know if I like Panaka going down. I don't know if Brian utilized. Yeah, this seems a little like he didn't utilize to get the Queen and Camino or the Ascension Gun on
He
Ryan's
might
turn.
have had them in his opening hand. So there's the Camino from
Yeah.
hand. There was the Panaka from hand. Like, much like he did with the QMC match that Mike Kessling and I streamed, Brian's definitely playing this a little bit loose, but you see he had like all his pullable cards in hand. And normally I kind of advocate for not deploying the Queen and Panaka, but Ryan didn't save any force to barrier.
Yeah,
So
that's a
you
good
might as
point.
well deploy everybody and move them. It's really more a function of the Ascension guns will cost him more next turn.
If he moves everybody. 1 second, Garrett. I'm going to actually switch up the audio here in a second.
All right.
Okay, you should be good now. So if anybody can let me know.
All right. Well, we'll see if that gets better. And there, Ryan does take advantage of the fact that, or Brian takes advantage of the fact that Ryan didn't save a force and uses leadership to go get either, let's see if he gets Yularen or he gets Obi.
Either or Killian.
He gets Kenobi. So I'm wondering if Brian does not have a ton of space.
Well, I don't necessarily. I think he is going to want to get the Kenobi there just because it is. He's a really good character, especially on Naboo. And like you were saying, if Ryan is able to get a character down to Naboo and just hold one of those sites, it's going to make things a lot harder for Brian.
Yeah, but if Ryan can go to space, if Ryan can take a kitty, get a foothold and hold space, especially with like commands to keep his ships alive,
But that's the
that's
thing though. Like if B Fred is just canceling those destinies with his objective, the command's not going to do anything.
you're not using command to draw more. You're using command to limit him to one as well.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to outpower him and just fine, you drew one. I'll lose one of my multitude of forfeit a million ISB agents
Mm-hmm.
and then retrieve them. That being said, here's an Admiral Ozzel on the Emperor's shuttle. So this is not the big Star Destroyer ISB.
No, and that's the thing. Like, normally we see Ryan run like Mara Jade in the Decimator. So I bet. I mean, that's the Emperor in the shuttle has now become like the most staple space fleet for Dark Side. So this, I'm not really surprised to see it. Uh, and this is what I was talking about. Like the fact that Brian got out Camino on turn one is going to now allow Ryan the ability to start draining for two.
Yeah, and I expect so Ryan, and I'll be honest, I'm going to go with Ryan and Fred because otherwise Ryan and Brian is just going to throw me off and I'm going to say I'm wrong.
And I
So
don't like. Okay, okay. So there was no saber there. I thought there was a saber from last turn. So uh, smart play by Ryan by not pulling coward or battle plan. Or
yeah, there's
battle
no
plan.
need to right there, and I think you'll actually get, you know, I don't know if you'll get Fred to pull battle order or not. Like realistically, it feels like battle order is going to hurt him sooner than it helps him
It's. I think it's gonna. Well,
because I expect Ryan's going to go next turn. He'll have 20 plus force to work with and a 14 card hand. If he does anything other than pile about 5 ISB agents at that spaceport docking bay and just flip and say go, I'd be shocked.
yeah,
Like that's the turn. That's what you're doing here is just saying, all right, I'm going to send everybody there to reduce your drains by one each. And then decree reduces your damage down by at least two. So you either have to spread or you keep them all together. And it's like, fine, I take one.
yeah. And it seems like if
And
Brian was gonna spread, he would have left Panaka there, which would have also saved him a force. So
yeah, I don't think Brian spreads this turn.
no, he
I do
can't.
think Brian's going to have to spread And I think it'll depend on if Jellison has the Tarkin plus Callus kind of combo to draw a bunch of Destiny
Yeah,
and cancel one of Fred's.
and
It'll be,
it's interesting to see that Brian uh, moved or deployed Kenobi to the hallway. Now I know that moving between the throne room and the hallway is free, so but again, if he would have left Panaka there, if his intentions was to move Panaka back this turn, he should just left Panaka because it cost him one force to move Panaka with ascension guns, and he can't move Panaka this turn anyways.
I mean, he could move Panaka back. Ascension Guns isn't a regular move.
Oh, okay.
Ascension Guns is a relocate. You could move them back.
But
So,
he would have 10 force to work with instead of 9.
yeah, I mean, I agree. If his plan was to keep Panaka there and spread and just try and absolutely maximize damage, the thing is, unless you're putting something else down, that's not the right play.
Agreed.
Like,
And
that's just asking for something bad to happen because you're either sitting and there we see
yeah,
him move everybody to the throne room.
yeah, and that again makes it. I don't understand the desire to move Kenobi, like to put Kenobi at the hallway and then move him.
I think Brian's thinking through a couple different lines of play here and is just kind of mentally like half committing to it and then changing his mind.
I mean,
Because
I
like
hope that his
Kenobi
intention.
there, like Kenobi to the hallway actually isn't a terrible play.
No,
But then he popped out battle plan and was like, well, wait a minute, I'm going to be paying 3 to drain for that one. And said, you know what, I'm just going to pay 3 to drain for 2 because he's
yeah,
got the 2 different lightsabers. And like, again, it's kind of, I think Brian's got a mindset that he's going to do something. And then he's realizing partway through, like, oh, this isn't the right play. So he's switching it up. And in the top 4 of the OCS, it is tough to not be on your game, especially against an opponent like Jellison, who's you're still not entirely sure what you're going to be facing.
no,
Like this
I
is
agree
not
with you.
the ISB, and I think that's part of what's might be creating some issues for Brian is he's going against a normal ISB. I'm kind of okay with this, but like even then, I don't know if leaving Kenobi's a good call because
Hmm.
if Jellison's got a decent hand, it turns into hey, you have an Obi-Wan there? That's cute. Here's 7 ISB agents.
Yeah, and the other thing is, so we
Get
noticed
wrecked.
that Ryan did not pay to drain for 2, which telling me that he has a really good hand. And as we see him deploy Lieutenant Deirdre Miro, who is a really good ISB agent, and Major Port Gaza.
And this is exactly what I said, which is Ryan's entire turn. This is just pile a whole ton of ISB agents there
And
and say,
Blizzard 2.
thanks for playing. Blizzard 2 could end up being real big because we're seeing sabers
Yeah.
and just being able to go, all right, you can't target my guys.
Even
And
though that
there's Oberk. And so, yeah, Oberk and
Barrick is like
Barrick.
Barrick's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I said. Like now, all of a sudden, Brian Brian Fred's looking at this going, all right, I can make him lose 1 and then pay 3 to drain for 2,
Hmm.
but then he's going to just retrieve that one. And,
And he's going to drain for 4.
Jellison still has 11 cards in hand and he's activating 18 force next turn.
Yeah, and he's draining for 4.
Yeah, like
That's
this
what it
is
comes down
a,
to is like Brian Fred now has to make Ryan Jellison is in a just ridiculously good spot.
yeah. And
Because
he's got Deirdre going so he can start cycling
mm-hmm.
his high destinies through.
Yeah, and being that the Blizzard 2 there, it's Brian has 2 lightsabers on the table. They're both at the throne room, not essentially doing anything.
Yeah,
And that's what
I'm
I'm saying is like this is a very hard game for Brian, and I think he just wants to max. His plan is probably going to be to maximize as much damage as he can, so he can do something in when he's on dark side.
So interestingly, Ryan just lost not within sight or reach from hand and didn't use it to grab Thrawn or Vanto, which tells me he's got those in hand.
Yeah, it's possible. I do like the rite of passage, even though he did lose it from his hand. And the reason I like it is really good tech against quite mining colony.
Yeah, which Brian played last round.
Exactly.
So I like the rite of passage, and it would have gotten him the decree, but I think he made the right call in saying, I don't know what his third starting effect normally is. Decree is the right start.
Oh, 100%.
Like if he did not start Decree, I do think Brian might have considered the let's go with the hyper aggro line and put Panaka and Kenobi and start trying to ping for 4 just right away. Dan always sounds quiet compared to me, Tommy. I am just a loud and boisterous person. So
Loud and boisterous, and yeah, we'll go with that. I think right now, unfortunately, the line that Brian needs, like, Brian needs to do something about the Emperor and Shuttle. That's his
yeah,
best plan of attack.
Brian needs to take Jellison out of space. If he can't keep him out of space and can't maintain, at the very least, maintain a foothold in space so he's not paying for drains, Ryan's going to win this in a walk, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that, like, honestly, I'm a little surprised Ryan's losses. He lost 2 cards from hand that were not ISB agents. And then his peel from the top was that command, which is not an ISB agent. Like, that's normally, like, I'd have been pitching an ISB agent from hand just because it's I want to retrieve that
yeah,
card.
I don't disagree with you, but I think one, the rite of passage is essentially a dead card, and two, outside of pulling Vanto or Thrawn, not within sight or reach, again, is kind of a dead card. Yes,
Agreed.
you can cycle
I'm
it.
perfectly fine with him losing those 2. That command off the top should have been an ISB agent from hand.
I agree with you, but the thing is, like, maybe he wants to save those ISB agents so that way he can throw them onto the table after he sees what Brian Fred does. And Projection of Skywalker is a really good card there for Brian because it now makes that from a drain of 2 to a drain of 1.
You know, I think Jellison's totally fine with that. Like, honestly, if I'm Ryan, I'm like, all right, fine, do that.
Yeah, and this is what
B. Fred going hard.
To do right here is attempt to blow that shuttle out of space. It's going to be hard to do.
Yeah. He's got the endurance. He's got Killian. Yeah. So,
but again, unfortunately, the Endurance is not that good of a ship.
I mean, he's got a bunch of power, though. Like, he's got a bunch of power right now. It's immune to less than 4. And really, this is where this turn is going to depend on if Jellison's got a Dark Time combo.
Dark Time Orc and Dark Time.
Or Dark Time or the combo. Like
the combo would be good.
And there it is.
Yeah.
And B. Fred smartly grabs it right away. That is absolutely a card that's going to hurt him. But at the same time, like...
And unfortunately, he needs... Like, this would be the play. You have to have a leadership. He kind of needs the leadership here or he's going to lose.
He does not have the leadership and draws a 1. Oh. Now, like, theoretically, if Ryan draws poorly here, he might end up, like, losing Ozzel. But Ozzel's going to forfeit for 6 and then be retrievable.
Yep. I was going to say, Brian
and there's
probably
the
Jedi levitation, so he can cancel it, redraw it. I think that's the right move.
And Dark Time only protects the dark side draws. Yep.
Does he have another Jedi levitation? He does not.
Wow, that was...
Okay, there's a 2.
So there's a 2. That's fine. He needs to avoid another 2. He needs a 1 here. Okay, that 2 is bad because the ship is only immune to less than 4.
Yep.
So that's going to cost him Killian.
And Ozzel, as you were saying, is probably going to be the... Yep. Which means,
Ozzel's the sacrifice there, which you're totally fine with.
yeah, because
There's
Brian
your
Fred has to
ISB
move,
agent. You
he
can
has to move
recover,
the endurance
retreat.
over now.
Yeah.
I don't think he can. Fondor's a what? A 4?
Fondor is a
6.
6, I
Okay, so
believe.
yeah, he can move the endurance, which is the only
Yeah.
saving grace there. Otherwise, ouch.
And I'll be honest, I'm not sure I'd even follow if I'm Ryan.
No, it's a drain of 1 there.
Like, if you follow, you run the risk of needing to have your second dark time and get that through because Brian does have a big hand and he's going to activate a ton of
Yeah,
force.
yeah,
Like, I'd be perfectly content just, all right, I'm going to, drain for 1, drain for 2, throw an ISB
yeah.
agent on the shuttle and retrieve Ozzel and,
That
pick a couple up.
that felt kind of. That did not feel like I wanted to make this move.
No, that ended very poorly for Brian. I think he was definitely hoping to draw high enough
Oof. And he
to,
loses. It could be worse off the top. That's
yeah.
a little bit of insult to injury. And
And he's
yep,
waffling it back right away,
yeah.
which is smart.
I was gonna say I don't hate that move.
The only other thing you're going to use waffling for would be to get back or to try and get out Unita.
Yeah.
Which would be good, but is certainly not,
Especially
getting
with
back that it could be worse is far more important.
Yeah, especially with the dark time combo being on the grabber, because that is
Yeah.
one way to cancel. It could be worse.
Yeah. But Ryan does keep his grabber open so far. Like the only thing that he could have grabbed in theory would have been the leadership, and Brian played it when he didn't have a force.
Yeah.
So there's the Eli and the Dreadnought. That's what we were talking about is
You called it.
he had to already have it in hand or there's no reason to lose that card. And Thrawn.
Yep. Yeah, this is not good for Brian Fred.
Yeah, this is and Brian did not have a barrier, which is and he stacks the second dark time just to make sure this destiny goes through and he can't lose the battle. Now he does have to clear a 3. I mean, the Resolute's the Endurance has a little bit of immunity. So
he doesn't clear it. So
doesn't get there.
It's only going to make Brian lose 1 force. Brian is happy about that.
But at the same time, now you're just flying Emperor on the shuttle over, I think. There's no reason not to.
I'm actually thinking about. I was going to say. I think you kind of want to maybe move the Vanto to the Emperor's site or the Emperor's location, and the reason is, it's a drain of 2. You're okay giving up the drain of 1.
And I think you're fine. I think blocking damage is the way ISB likes to win. You can take some damage. You don't want to take a ton. Taking 3 instead of 4.
Yeah, and I like what Ryan is doing. He's piling everybody on the Blizzard 1, which means he's going to move to the courtyard. And now that's a drain of 2.
Now that's a drain of 2.
Yeah.
Because the objective does limit it to a drain of 2, so he's fine with, it's still just a drain of 2.
Yeah.
So.
Again, Ryan's in a really good spot.
Yeah. This has gone, honestly, other than that Mara and the Decimator being drawn for Battle Destiny, this game has gone about as poorly for Fred as it could have.
Now, the one thing that is good for Brian is there's 2 Dark Time combos stacked on the grabber. What are the odds Ryan is playing a 3rd?
Probably bad, but at the same time, what are you going to do? How are you coming at him right now?
If you've got Yularen and the Resolute.
Yeah.
That's Battle Destiny. That's.
Yeah, but you're facing 2 in response.
Yeah, but if he has the.
Yeah,
if Ryan is out of Dark Times, that's what you want to see. That's what you might have to do against Ryan if you're Fred at this point.
But also at that point, Ryan has enough in space. You can start doing all right, I'm just going to avoid you. And even if I'm not getting a space drain, I'm not paying for drains.
Yeah.
And that's just as valuable. In all honesty, I don't necessarily love that spaceport docking bay at Naboo.
Agreed.
Like, he could have put that at Camino and been much, much happier,
Yeah.
or even Fondor and just been able to be like, all right, you
Yeah.
can just not drain here.
Now the thing is, though, he did get that out turn 1, which may be
Yeah.
he
He may not have had an option.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that's the case. Like, it's sometimes you're put in a position, sometimes your deck puts you in a position where you're like, well, this isn't the play I really wanted to make. So I need to adjust from there and play it how I can.
As we see, there goes a not within sight or reach and a Neville Urinal to the drain.
And he knew the Yarnall was going from the Deirdre.
Well, no, the Urinal was on top of the deck. It was the not within sight.
Was the
off top,
Narnall?
yeah.
Oh, it was reserve. Okay, so it was the
And-
not within sight that was the.
Yeah, he'll lose a Lieutenant Pulled Teardom off the top, and we see, okay, that's a good card for Brian. Actually, no, it's not.
Doesn't matter. It's still a drain of 2.
It's still a drain of 2.
Because it gets a +1 from Empire's Sinister Agents and then a -1 from CO. So now this is more of a problem. Here's Anakin on the Endurance.
Yeah.
So
And
Solo. Are we going to see a pilot? Or are we going to see an admiral? Because he does have a leadership in Lost.
That's the question.
We do not. So this is fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's fine for both players.
yeah, I think both players are totally content there. And that's brutal.
Brian, Fred, you cannot draw good to save.
Yeah, B. Fred,
anything
you
today.
are because Ryan's immune to that.
Yeah.
So there's a 5. That's going to get
5.
canceled.
Yep. It's 2.
There's a
but
2,
he's
so that's not
fully
going to
immune.
cancel. So he's down 5.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I think that's just got to be Thrawn.
I was going to say either Thrawn or Palpatine.
Depends on what's in his hand. If he's got another Palpatine, I'd have lost Palpatine. Without it, I think you lose Thrawn. Because you can also now just dump the. No, you can't add. Never mind. As I say, you can just pick up the shuttle and move it. But I think you are just going to see some moves.
Okay.
And there's
Yoda's
Fred
once per
moving
game.
Yoda over because
I
he wants
don't-
to start getting his drains in. I mean,
So here's the thing, though. It's free movement regardless. If you're Brian, I'm not using Yoda there. I'm using Yoda to possibly move to Coruscant.
yeah. I don't
Brian's
think.
flustered.
I'll be honest. I don't think Brian's ever going to move Yoda to Coruscant unless it's super, super late game. Moving him to Coruscant is just asking to get jumped by ISB. Again, this is still ISB. If Ryan's got, Tarkin and Lieutenant Pole in hand, he can suddenly drop 5 ISB agents on Yoda.
Lieutenant Poole is in the lost pile.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's playing more than one.
Yeah.
So
As Brian
do
loses 2 5s off the top, that's the thing. Like, Brian's drawing 1s for Destiny, and he's losing good Destiny off the top to drains.
So Fred did spread out. He's moved Panaka to the hallway, which is going to mean Ryan would like to get to a 3rd battleground.
Yeah. And there's 1, 2, 3.
But there's a whole bunch out
4,
there.
5, 6 on the table. I mean, he's got his options.
Yeah.
Imperial Enforcement, so now he doesn't have to pay to initiate a battle anywhere, and he can take Imperials into hand now.
And my guess is that's his normal 3rd starting card.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good card to be starting and just, okay, I get to battle for free. Now, he is down to only 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, though, right now, I think if you're Ryan, your goal is to I think he just wants to keep pushing the damage and retrieving.
Yeah, I think Ryan's perfectly content. Like I said, I think he's got to move the ships.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I wouldn't hate setting up over at Endor.
like that's what I was in. I actually wouldn't hate taking a little bit of a risk and saying, all right, I'm going to put Partagaz and, oh, all right, this is not what I expected.
I agree. Like the
Like
Queen's.
I was going to just say, pile everybody in the locker, move them to the docking bay. Everybody jumps out, and you move the biker scouts to Endor,
Well, not
and
only
now
that.
you've
I
got
mean,
your three battlegrounds.
again, depending on his hand, yeah, it costs him extra
Oh,
force to deploy there.
yeah, that was a mistake.
Well, no, it does. It shouldn't.
What do you mean?
So it's while if we have a plan is on table, we have a plan is not on table.
Um, Fair enough. Yeah. All right.
But again, I
Yeah.
kind of don't like this move.
I mean, now he's going hard. I think I would have preferred pile. I'll take that entire pile and throw it at the end or the hot docking bay
Yeah,
and just say, fine, it's another
yeah,
drain of
because
two. I'm just
you would
gonna.
be out damaging Brian at that point.
You're already out damaging him.
No, you're not.
I mean, if you take that, he's draining for one, two, three, and pinging for one is
Yeah,
four.
that's true.
And I guess, well, if he's playing follow the ships, you're only draining for two.
Yeah,
So, but if you no, you're draining for four if you pile them at the docking bay, and you're
yeah.
now retrieving one. So you're matching damage, and you're retrieving one for the every other turn where he's theoretically out draining you by one if you have to run away from Camino. So
Okay.
I don't hate him dumping his hand here. Like, yeah, and he's not even battling. He just says, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm.
I think I would have gone the more conservative, for lack of a better term, route and said, nope, let's turn this into a race. And it's a race I'm currently
Mm-hmm.
way ahead in. Granted, Brian does have a lot more cards available. They both have 20 cards down, but Ryan's got 7 more cards in
Yeah,
hand.
but the board state right now is
The board state right
yeah.
now definitely favors
Agreed.
Jellison.
Agreed. And yeah, I
So,
do, and that's what we're saying is I think all of us all of us right now are saying that I like Ryan spreading to the docking base at this point
yeah. Like
because
in this case, he wouldn't have even need to move because he had so many agents in hand. And I might have gone, honestly, if he's got a Gick, I would have gone super aggressive. I'd have thrown a
yeah,
Sard down at the Camino 2-0.
yeah.
I'd have piled everybody else at
And
Hoth or Endor.
here's the thing though, the lightsabers outside of the Obi-Wan lightsabers that Brian is running are the ones that they don't remove the forfeit value. So
Yeah.
they still retain their forfeit value. They just can't be sacrificed for attrition. Honestly, at that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm going super light, spreading out as
Yeah.
much as I can, because what's the likelihood that we already seen Brian draw a Kit Fisto for Destiny? He already drew a Qui-Gon for Destiny. Anakin's on the table. Obi-Wan's on the table. Yoda's on the table. Who else does he have? He's got a mace. We know he's got
Yeah,
Cody in his hand, but Cody doesn't do anything by himself. You need to have Rex. I mean,
I would not spread that thin without a Gick. Without the Gick backing me up, I might have just said, well, I'll hold Iceheart for a turn,
yeah,
deploy Iroll, Dresselin. Like I might have even held Tarkin. Just said, all right, I'll do Iroll, Dresselin, and Evax at the Endor docking bay
mm-hmm.
and just say, come do something. Like you're again just saying, all right. Because right now he's saved himself 1 damage. He blocked a drain of 1. He's going to take 1 to the objective either way.
Yeah.
I don't like that pile, and he's down to 4 cards in hand.
Yeah, he went super conservative there.
And Brian's in a decent spot to start a battle there.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna hit somebody, yeah, they'll still retain their forfeit, and then Tarkin's gonna cancel the battle destiny, and you're probably getting your battle destiny canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I guess you're drawing two because I rolls with Dresselin. So you're like he's got a I mean, Ryan Jellison's got a nice little combo there, but it's just he did a whole lot to block a drain of one,
Yeah, agreed.
where he, I think, would have
Well,
been in a much better position
it blocked the drain of one,
turning it into a drain of two somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially if you hold on to Iceheart and wait for Brian to commit, hey, here's the Obi-Wan, or not Obi-Wan, the Qui-Gon, here's the mace. And then you're like, all right, well, I'll throw Iceheart at this 2-0, and if you come after her, I'll just kick it away, and your guy's stuck there.
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't come after her, I'm a drain for two. Like, that's the position you want to be in. And I know Brian always watches these after the stream happens and tells us the things we complain about. Partagas and Deidre aren't great. Yeah, you like your 5 power.
Yeah.
You got 10 forfeit though.
You got the forfeit, and again, when it comes down to it, there's no lightsabers left that are going to unless
do anything.
Brian is running a lightsaber that we don't know about. 9 times out of 10, these we have a plan decks run the Jedi lightsaber V.
I mean, you could be running the Destiny 5 Qui-Gon saber.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Rex
and
was
here's
the card that you probably feared the most.
Rex and Cody, but you're still like
you're okay with that.
You're not getting overflowed.
Well,
like maybe because I mean Rex makes them forfeit -3, so
from some of the forfeit.
You still have 7 in forfeit there.
Destiny, but that's the thing now. Brian's getting 2 Destiny there, but he has nothing saved. So yeah, you're not going to get cleared. You're not going to have overflow here.
I mean, unless he's got more characters to throw down.
Even
you're
then,
up 1 in power. I mean, if he has enough, like if he throws down a Qui-Gon or Qui-Gon or Mace and some power, yeah, this is not enough power to be super scary.
Is 1.
Oh yeah, he only saved 2, so he's not shooting.
Exactly, because Rex takes 2 force. He'll hit at 2.
Yeah.
And
Great.
Sorry About the Mess doesn't do anything during battle. It's only during control phase. And there it is.
So Jellison says, fine, you can have that drain 0 site.
Yeah.
I'll lose my 2 ISB agents, and my guess is he's got another Deirdre.
Yeah.
Maybe not in hand, but he's going to have another Deirdre somewhere.
And Cody, yeah. So, I mean, he's going to lose by 7, but both of those cover.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And again, it's a drain 0 site. Like Brian took over a site.
For Brian, but it was a drain 2 for Ryan.
Yeah. I think I'm fine with Brian making that attack. I think Ryan is fine with Brian making that attack. That's a fine thing. We actually don't see the lists before this goes on.
No, but he just drew sorry about the mess for Destiny. So, and based on the fact that these we have a plan decks are so tight, like okay. I don't hate that because now the hallway is only a drain of 1.
Yeah, and actually the docking bay is now a drain of 0.
0, yeah.
So, like, I don't hate that move, but again, this is where
I like that move.
Those guys all would have been way better at Endor. Like, I'm gonna keep hammering that.
For Ryan.
For Ryan, like, I'm gonna keep hammering that because I think that was I think he got overly aggressive.
Yeah.
And much like we talked about in the first couple turns, Brian B-Fred did a couple things that were like, wait a minute, why are you doing that?
And I like Ryan. I like B-Fred saying, here's my rebel leadership. Feel free to grab it.
Yeah. He knows he's got the Hujix.
Yeah.
There's Yularen, who with Anakin stops.
Yeah, and the fact that Ryan only has 4 cards in hand, he's doing 1 point of damage. That turn, last turn, actually flipped the script a little bit.
Yeah, I think Brian played that well, but I do think Jellison gave him the opening.
Exactly, that's what it came down to.
So I think
And
if
he took the Lauren, which I like. I really like that move because now he can actually start. If he has the Resolute, throwing Yularen in front of Eli Vanto and the Emperor is big. And Brian B. Fred just says, you know what? I don't need this Hujix. Be gone.
he's got solo on table,
Yeah.
I think that's actually a very good play.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason not to do it.
No, I
You've got
agree.
solo on
I agree.
table.
You have
You
solo. You
know,
have so much. You have your
you've got a ton of power plus
the
forfeit at every
courtyard is
location.
pretty good. And the other thing is, the one nice thing is if I don't remember him losing it, but were you looking for me? He could actually get multiple destinies with 3PO.
Yeah, I have used that text before.
Yeah, it's a great.
It makes me
It's
smile.
great. I love using that text. Okay, so we see
So
there's Colonel Wolf Yularen, which is going to be funny if Admiral Yularen comes down as well. But
Yularen versus Yularen.
Yularen versus Yularen.
And there's Veers, like Ryan says, I'm going to have to load up
Yeah, he has to.
on forfeit, but like I see in chat, yeah, somebody needs to, pile. I think you need to pile everyone from the hallway into the throne room, but like that's a feels bad kind of
It
moment.
is, and
But I think that's the play you've got to make. Like, you got to move them all over. You got to move those, but now you're only
yeah,
going to draw like 2 cards. Like this is
and he
and he
knows the
does
draw phase.
not.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I think
I don't like that.
I think Ryan at this point is actually on. He's super on the defensive.
Yeah, I think B Fred is in a much better
Oh
position right
yeah, B.
now.
Fred has turned the tables, and Ryan
Yeah.
Jellison has allowed it.
Yeah, Ryan played. Well, we've talked in the past, and anyone's watched this, but you're never going to win a game necessarily on one turn, especially one early turn.
Yeah,
You can absolutely lose a game. I feel like that hallway play was a game losing play.
and I think Ryan was looking at his all of that stack. While that is a stack at the hallway, he needs cards in hand at this point too.
Yeah.
Now, the one good thing for him is he is still reducing the objective damage down to 1. However, and I mean he's still getting 2 and
He's
the
only got 20 cards though right now. Like he's got 10
yeah,
down and 10 in hand versus B Fred's 28.
yeah.
And B Fred
Yeah.
is doing damage. So Eric, the big thing that kind of happened is Jelson had a couple Naboo locations, was kind of controlling it, and then dropped that pile at the hallway just there and didn't battle instead of putting them at one of the either Hoth or Endor docking bay to start piling drains and just try and say, all right, I'm just going to keep one pile at Naboo because he only needs to hold one Naboo site and force damage through other ways.
Yeah.
And I think he could have turned this into a race, and a race I think he's advantaged in. Now he's turning it into a race, but he's going the wrong way.
Yeah, so he just lost 3 cards. He lost a Tarkin from hand. He lost Palpatine from hand and a Master Remove combo from hand. And yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Like the ability to go down to Coruscant just is what like Brian did.
Yeah. And now with,
big.
Now that Ryan only has
So
10 force to work with and 7 cards in hand,
that was after Eric. You are correct. He is doing that now, but he also had the Blizzard 1 on Naboo, where it was not doing any damage because of the force projection or projection of Skywalker, as well as
Yeah,
See a Bibble.
if you watch the replay, Eric, you'll see, and I hopefully Dan and I are smart enough that we're accurately calling this was the misplay, because that I think Ryan could have just maintained a position at the courtyard and sat on drains out of the locations where he's not getting that. And there's an 11 for Battle Destiny.
Bringing him up to 28. Now the question is like, I mean, the endurance is only immune less than 3. So
Yeah, I thought it's less than 5 with it doesn't. Oh, never mind. Yularen does it on something else, or
he's on the Resolute.
the Resolute. So the 3 is actually very good.
Yes.
That 3 draw, and Ryan needs to leave
Ryan's
that in
thinking about, do
place.
I want to take that into hand at
No,
this point?
absolutely. You take the 3 because it will kill somebody off the ship.
Probably solo.
I don't care who. You keep that 3.
Yeah.
I cannot fathom wanting to. Okay, so now that it got reduced to a 2, now I think you
Now
enforcement
you
it.
have to cancel it and redraw it.
Yeah. Now you use the enforcement. And he did not.
But he does draw another 3.
Yeah, but if you enforcement it, you still draw that 3, and then you get another one, whatever that top one is.
Yeah. And Brian in the chat is saying, well then, I mean, that's probably the best you could hope for.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's going to have to lose solo.
That's the question. Do you lose the solo and then you don't have access to the Hoojiks?
You don't need the Hoojiks. Ryan has 10 force total to work with.
Yeah,
There's
I
nothing he's dropping, especially with both polls going for Battle Destiny there. There's nothing he's dropping right now that Brian needs to Hoojiks.
Yeah, and I think,
and Brian disagrees with us and loses the Anakin.
I think Anakin
Fine.
might. So the reason I'm also saying in the solo is, you still have the ability. I think if he has a leadership in there, you can play the leadership with Yularen now. So there's a lot of and Ryan is shield broken, so he can't pull the Watch Your Step shield to. So I think losing the
But
Anakin
force him to pay 1, which
bad, but I think it was the right play.
Yeah, I mean the useless gesture shield to force him to pay 1 when Brian's routinely sitting on 4 or 5 force.
No, but I mean, if
immaterial,
it's immaterial, but it could come into play. It could come into play.
Yeah.
So
there are games that would come into play. I don't think this is one of them. Let's phrase it that way. Jellison is in a tough spot right now. Like, he's going to deal 3 damage.
Is he? If B. Fred found his, it could be worse.
Well,
you can see him play it on the drain at Endor.
Yeah, but that's just a terrible thing. And yeah, I think Ryan deciding not to go to the throne room after he deployed the first biker scout there definitely impacted things. I think he honestly, he should have just said, all right, well, I'm going to deploy everybody else. I'm going to hold on to Iceheart and deploy in the throne room and start that fight. So
Brian loses a sense from hand.
And here's the drain of 2. Are we going to see, and it could be worse, and a table flip from Jellison? Because nope.
Unita and
Unita feels like a little bit of a surprise.
Not necessarily, because I think Brian is in the point where he actually wants to start maximizing the amount of damage. So, and yes, it gets your card back in your hand, but it also makes you essentially lose a force by putting the Unita on the table.
Yeah.
And I like losing him losing the leadership there is really good.
He already had a leadership and lost. Second one there doesn't matter. So
Vader going
there's down. Vader, but like, I don't like,
Yep. So there's a command from Jellison.
okay, that's cute.
Right. B. Fred's got to be thinking, do I play the sense here?
Yeah, like Brian could sense from Lost, and I would not hate that at all.
No, I would. And the reason I would is one, you're losing 2 force on top of that.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
play the leadership, so that way you both are limited to one.
Yeah, I guess that would work.
Yeah.
And that's what I think he's going to do is solo the leadership from Lost.
Yep.
And then you're up 6 in power
Yep.
and
Potentially canceling the destiny depending on what it is. You got to think if it's a
yeah.
three though. You have to think
No,
it's a three.
and Eric, I think you're right. I don't think you move in front of the throne room. The turn he deployed everyone to the hallway,
Yep.
he
Ryan does
could
draw
have
the
just
three,
deployed them all to the
but
throne room.
yep, B. Fred has there tracking us.
And
So
now we see the enforcement to
yep.
take him into hand and draw the other Lieutenant
Yeah,
Pole.
it's a three. Yeah, it's threes back to back. So Ryan stacking those threes is probably the best thing he has going for him right this second, because now Solo is going to go Lost.
Yep.
But what the more importantly is Brian now is again essentially tracking around that five, so he's going to get multiple destiny, or he's going to get at least a five, which is going to cause multiple. Yep, there goes the Emperor. So now that's not what you want to see if you're Jellison.
Yeah, losing that Emperor feels a little bad. Like
It feels bad, but you still got to have the Ozzel up there, and the reason you want the Ozzel is so that way you can play them command.
Yeah.
Because
No,
like you said, Yularen draws two.
This is a. Does Lauren still draw two?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Any
Yularen,
capital.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Jellison is in a rough spot right now, and I think he's just trying to minimize. And B. Fred's gonna win this fairly comfortably.
I wouldn't say fairly. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be fairly comfortable because he still is going to be taking some damage. I mean, he is.
I don't know how much more damage
18,
he's going to
be. He does
be.
have 18 in his life force. I think it's going to be around 14 to maybe 13 to 14. Is what he's going to win by.
So if Brian's got his Vader's immune to. Yeah, Vader's immune to sorry, but like
you're okay.
Vader's going to get beat up. Like you can't sorry him, but you just go, all right, I'll battle, I'll hit him, I'll cancel your battle destiny, and
well, I mean,
I'll cost you
Mace
Vader.
Is immune less than 8 because he's with a Dark Jedi.
So Mace does not die.
Mace should not die.
If you've got another ship or another character in hand, another pilot, you go after him in space.
Yep.
Like I'm.
There goes the Gick.
And B. Fred left 5 in reserve, that's exactly what it screams. Is I've got another pilot in space. I'm gonna throw him down. I'm gonna draw 2. I'm gonna battle Vader. I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna draw 1, and I'm gonna cancel whatever you do. And depending on what he draws in space, like he probably can't clear him out because he's got 11 in forfeit between the shuttle and Ozzel.
Yeah.
But then he's down to, okay, he takes a drain of 2 and 1, maybe.
Yeah.
And says, okay, and loses those from hand.
But what's more important is Ryan Jellison is going to have to evacuate the Camino system, which makes that a drain of 2 in Brian Fred's favor. Kit Fisto there's okay. I mean, he is a pilot.
You're great with Kit. He's a pilot and he's forfeit 1 million.
Yeah. That's
7, okay. But doesn't matter. And here's first the battle against Vader. And I expect we'll see a swing here. Maybe.
ISB should be able to power through the lightsaber. Plus, with Tarkin there, you can actually cancel one of the swings. So, but the bigger problem is
Tarkin only can cancel swing during battle.
Yeah,
he can't cancel the sorry about the mess swing.
Not hit.
Yeah, that's fine. You're still just going to straight out power it.
Are you though? They're both power 6.
Yeah, but effectively you get a battle destiny and light side or dark side likely does not. But I mean, best case scenario right now for
Best
Jellison
case
is he
scenario is a
draws the
3.
3, and Jellison doesn't even bother because he knows he's
He,
got the 3.
yeah,
Vader covers, and he'd rather draw the 3 at Camino.
yeah, 100%.
Very smart play. And yeah,
And
I mean,
I think if you're B Fred, you're okay with that because you're not battling a Camino. You have
yeah,
no reason to battle a Camino.
oh no, I think you're battling at Camino.
He just 3PO'd, so he's not battling
Oh,
a
all right. Well,
Camino.
now he's not. You're right. If he
Yeah.
3PO'd, he's not battling.
No, I like that play by Brian saying, okay, I did what I really wanted to. I drew the card that was underneath, and okay, I guess he is battling. I
right.
mean, I don't know.
I mean, he knows he's drawing a 5 there. Oh no, he's not. I was thinking it was
Yeah.
his.
The
I
5
thought that
was
was the
he drew
Spider
the 5
Mercenary.
for Battle Destiny with Mace.
Yeah. So all right, and there's a 3.
I
So
mean, that's just the shuttle, and you're losing Kit Fisto.
yeah, but you're kind of okay with that, honestly.
No, you're not. I drew that they're tracking us with 3PO. And I think if you're Ryan, oh wait, he can't grab that they're tracking us. Oh, but he canceled it. He drew a 5 for Destiny, which Brian can now cancel. Wow.
Yeah, I don't understand canceling that Moff draw. Taking, I guess
Because it was a 2, it wasn't doing anything.
once it became a 2. Yeah, I guess there's Ozzel plus Vanto. That tells me he's probably got a Palpatine in hand, but this is
It's
yeah, it's
yeah.
again. I think if Jellison would have gone for the throne room when he had Tarkin, Dresselin, and Iroll,
Yeah.
and at least made a run at it, he'd be in a better position.
I will again. I will 100% agree with you.
But
And
I think
activates
he would have
everything,
been in
so
a
it's not
much better
battling.
position if he'd have just spread and said, okay.
Now, I mean, like I said, he's going to cause some damage here. As we see, there goes an Odin Nestler in first aid combo. He's going to drain for 2 at Endor.
If B-Fred doesn't have it could be worse.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't think he does because it would have been almost a snap. It would have been a snap play right now.
no, there it was. Yeah, he
Wow.
he had it.
Yeah. And I think if you're Ryan, you just grab it to grab it. Yeah.
Did he add with tracking us?
No, he subtracted.
He could have added. No, he added one, so he could have canceled it.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, it would have been fine either way.
Yeah. There's the Palpatine.
There's the Palpatine, which is cute, but like you can't just stick them there. That's guess you block the drain and hope you have. I mean, you've got 14 and forfeit. Like
B Fred is actually he's doing 7 points of damage on his next turn.
I got 6.
So 2
2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 from the objective.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at Camino. Because there's no way Ryan stick. Like I don't think Ryan is going to be sticking.
He just
around
put
here.
Callus there. He's sticking there. Yeah, if he moves from Camino, then he's doing 8.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you're right. 7 because of resistance.
Yeah.
I was like, he's draining for 3 on Coruscant, but you're right. That's going to be 2 with resistance.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If you're moving those guys away, I don't understand putting anyone on the ship. Like Yularen's dead. B-Fred's got 1 card in hand.
If Brian has the Rick Olay in shuttle and he just throws that down against the naked shuttle, that's a lot of power because it is +2 from the objective.
Yeah, but at that point you're dead in the water anyways.
Well, yeah.
Like this is right now. Ryan is just playing for can I make him lose a couple more cards?
Yeah,
he's down to 16. He might cost him a few more cards. I assume Brian's gonna. Oh, the could be worse got grabbed. So, which was smart, but now like, where are you gonna go here?
Jerry, we should be. You're saying that we should be in Colorado right now, but that's where the Denver Broncos play, and they can't kick field goals.
I mean, Jerry, I'd
Too
have
soon?
loved to be in Denver. This was, you know, unfortunately or fortunately, I did Ohio instead, and I can only
Yeah.
go to so many events. So it definitely would have been a blast, though, and I'm feeling some serious FOMO for not getting out there.
Okay, so we see,
So,
and I'm sorry, but driving to an event is a lot better than flying to an event.
well, I would have driven to
You
my
would have.
drive to
You would
Denver
have.
is functionally the same as the drive to Ohio on my end.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
for
we
you,
see
yeah, it would have required a flight.
drains of Coruscant, drains at the hall, the courtyard.
Yeah, he's
It is Corporal Barrick and
Barrick
O'Brien.
and Oberk, a
Yeah.
couple of biker scouts. So Barrick, who says you can't attack, like Barrick right there, he's locked that site down.
Yeah.
And that's where again, I think I would have preferred he locked down the throne room or the courtyard with that guy with that, and then start looking at moving and pushing his drains at the other locations. Because we saw at least one trample. Trample's going to do work
Yeah. Agreed.
against Rex or Cody and would have made things very interesting. And here's Beefred starting a battle.
Yeah, and he's already up by 10 in power, so even if he
Yeah.
has to, I mean, I don't think he cares about. I mean,
Ryan's
if
going to
Ryan
lose
draws two
space.
threes, he's fine. Like he's not going to care about that.
He loses kit. Like
Yeah,
if Ryan draws two
but
threes, he says, "All right, I
now that
lose."
he's down by, okay, so he's canceling that one.
Yeah,
So yeah, Ryan right now has to lose the Emperor plus Stings because the Gick is in the loss pile. He's gonna, yeah, that's game.
yeah, yeah. He's down 20 force. I
20.
mean,
I mean,
20 is the
Emperor
entire space. Emperor plus Callus plus the shuttle is
is
20.
20 exactly. Yeah, but
So he'll be able to pay for a drain of one and a drain of two, and then that's it.
yeah,
And so Fred is going to win what he's got. He's got 18 down. He'll win by 16.
yeah.
Unless something goes crazy, he'll win by, Ryan's going to drain him for three. And then Fred will drain him out. Yeah, Matt, there's a lot of things I
There's
think Ryan could have done differently this game. And I think
yeah.
he'll watch this and just be like, yeah, that was. As B Fred spreads a little bit and says, well, I'm going to move Yoda over here.
I think it's just
I don't see any value in doing that.
yeah. There's no value, but I think it's just to move guys around. I mean, he's
Yeah,
got to leave
like,
Co Bibble there, or it does become back to a drain of.
yeah, but you're moving to again give him it's a drain of two or a drain of two, and honestly, like it doesn't matter because if Brian chooses not to drain and instead wanders everybody in front, Brian's totally happy with that.
Yeah, and on top of that, like the Imperial Decree now is only reducing it to 2. So I mean,
Doesn't matter. He was dead either
Fred's
way.
doing enough damage on his control phase to just
Yeah,
take Ryan out of the game. Ryan right now is just looking at it, and I'm just going to be like, I need to do as much damage as I can right here, right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he was going to take 7. He was going to deal 7 either way, so it didn't really matter to Brian. Yeah, I mean, he should have. Ryan could have spread the differential a little bit more by, yeah, throw Callus to the 2-0, move the shuttle, ping a few more damage through, but it doesn't matter. So B-Fred's going to take this one by 16.
yep.
And he's going to have 16 in lost.
To 37.
Yep. 16 is a lot. Like, and I don't know what Ryan's going to be playing for Darkside. Like, I will say Gammies might. I don't like Gammies into Throne Room. If Jellison is playing that Throne Room,
If
I do not love Gammies into that. That
we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know we're gonna find out. There was a question on timing here. We'll see what goes on in chat. Either the next game will be right now or it'll be in a couple days. We will have games tomorrow. MHT versus Werfs is playing tomorrow. So it looks like Jellison says he's ready to switch sides. Let's see what Brian says. While we wait for Brian. Oh, okay. So Brian says he's going to take 5. We see Crazy Carl subscribed with Prime. It's 28-month streak. That is spectacular. Again, subscribing with Prime, one of the great ways you can support the PC. And it takes 0 effort, 0 anything from you. Just, hey, if you have Amazon Prime, which lots of us do for whatever reason, here's some free money for the PC that allows things like this OCS playoff and the prizing.
It lets you see Garrett's beautiful face even more.
Yeah, like it's a great way to support the players committee in all of our volunteer stuff. And honestly, like, massive shout out to Carl. If I know there's people on here who are not able for whatever reason to go to Ohio for the mini worlds that happened last weekend. That was a awesome weekend. Carl did a heck of a job as host. Everybody else there, Travis did awesome. Kendall was awesome. Like, it was a heck of a weekend, and it's only going to keep getting bigger and better. So keep an eye out next year, right around this time, early November. The Ohio Mega Worlds is worth putting on your put on your must go to calendar. It's very worth the trip. And honestly, like, I only played Star Wars for one day. The second day I played in an unlimited pre-release with Chris Schoenthal and watched the Curly. It was a Curly Regionals or Ohio States. That was the Sunday.
Ohio State's.
Okay, it didn't matter. I didn't do well enough to win the other ones, so the title didn't make a difference. But it was an absolute blast hanging out at the hotel after with everybody and just playing games and enjoying the friendship and the camaraderie we all have from hanging out together for so long. And honestly, like, I've talked about this before. If you haven't been to a major, if you haven't been to a live event, go. Don't let something stop you like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to know anybody. Maybe I don't have the greatest decks. Maybe I don't have the cards. You need cards, I'll help you get cards. You come to an event I'm at, I will build you a deck.
Garrett is the man. He will do so much to get you to the event. He will pay for your entry. He will hook you up with cards. He will bring you alcohol. He'll fluff your pillows. He'll do everything.
I don't know that I volunteered to pay for anybody's entry, and pillow fluffing is a whole separate charge. But like, no, if you haven't had a chance to come out to a live event and you're thinking about it, come. You know, if you're not sure you're going to know anybody, guess what? All of us have been through that. All of us are much more invested in seeing people show up and play and have fun than in any sort of, oh, I don't know you, so I'm not going to talk to you. Like, you're here to play Star Wars cards. We already like you. So come out, have fun, hang out with us wherever it be. I know we're working on the next major, I think, is potentially going to be Las Vegas is in the plans somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we're working on, a lot of stuff trying to go regionally. So, if you're somewhere, if you're on the East Coast, there'll be something on the East Coast. If you're in, the Midwest in flyover country with me, we'll have something there. But there's lots of stuff going on. So, yeah, that one, Brian Fred won that game in a walk. Yep, Charlie there. Brian went out to take a 5-minute break. And then they're going to start game 2. So it'll be rolling right away. I mean, I feel like Fred's probably got to play Gammies, the Gamorreans, unless he wants to really shift and play something crazy, like that's got to be the deck you put him on. But at the same time, it's a deck that is beatable, and especially, if Ryan plays that throne room with the Premier Obi-Wan that moves Thock and Thug or Bib away, that can get a little snarly for gammies. Like if you drop Obi-Wan and you're like, all right, well, Thock moves away, now I can hit your guys. That can be a problem. So, and I know Brian has seen it happen. So I don't know what deck he put. I don't know when he had to submit the deck lists. And again, we don't have access to them. So this is just kind of we get to be surprised. We get to see it as you see it, and you get to hear us, discuss it as it goes. So I'm going to check out the scores of the football game real quick, just while I'm waiting for game 2 to start. So Jalen Hurts is having a decent little game. That's a little. Chargers are up on the Titans. The Eagles are up on the Cowboys, but it's shockingly close, and the Cardinals are all over the Jets. No shocks in really any of those games. The Eagles game is closer than I would have expected, but it's the Eagles. Like, what are you going to do? So, all right. So yeah, looks like Ryan's got the game up. Just waiting for B-Fred to be done with his 5-minute break and come get stuff rolling here. And again, we're going to have at least one game tomorrow night. MHT, the number 1 seed, who's been playing on an absolute tear in the OCS playoffs so far, against Chris Werfs. At very least, game 1 is tomorrow night at, I believe it is 8 Eastern. And again, it's kind of like this one where they may play game 2 right away. Game 2 may take a few days to get in. It depends on how long it goes. And, we're all adults. We all got other stuff going on in our lives. Sometimes you got to you just got to be a little bit flexible and, excuse me, roll with the punches. So either way, it sounds like the winner of this match will be watching with bated breath, and both MHT and Chris Werfs will be watching this to say, all right, who am I going to be facing if I win? So, all right, looks like Brian is just about ready to go. And we'll be into this. So I don't know, Dan, do you think we'll see Ryan on that throne remains again, or is he going to go something different? Like you said, you think Fred's on gammies.
I have no clue what either of them are playing. So
yeah, I mean, we don't have deck lists, so it's kind of a.
I mean, I would love to have.
We're going a little bit blind. We'll have them when everybody else does, when they're.
Yeah, I was going to say, but like
published, and James Martin and his team gets those out ASAP. Charlie, it wouldn't shock me if they both pivoted. It also wouldn't necessarily shock me if one or the other of them said, you know what, this is what I feel like is the best deck. I'm just rolling with it.
All I know is everything is right in the world at this point, because I'm probably going to beat Logan this week. Oh, we have Shadow Collective versus Agents in the Court.
So heavy pivot.
Sure, we'll go with that.
So Agents in the Court is something a lot of the new allies have been playing for a while, the Fen Rao. And they based it, at least in part, off Jellison's decks, because Ryan's been playing it as well.
Yeah.
So Shadow Collective, little bit of a surprise. Might be one of those. I think it's got a lot of game into Throne Room.
I mean, I know
Ryan said, why not?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I know the new allies for a while thought Shadow Collective was one of the best decks. And being that their leader is Mike Kessling, it kind of makes sense. But to see Ryan, I mean, I'm not 100% I'm not surprised by Ryan going with Agents of the Court, but sure.
I mean, so my one concern with Shadow Collective, if you thought your opponent might be on Throne Room, is if Jellison starts Throne Room, he just suspends mob points, and you're going to struggle to find Gaul. So in this case, Fred went and grabbed Gaul.
Yep.
Ryan suspended it anyways, so at least Fred's got to wait a little while.
Fenrout is the wrap.
Yeah.
I want to see this deck, so if anybody has access to it, please send it over because it just looks fun.
I've seen him played against it. It's definitely fun. Like Fenrout does Fenrout things in terms of just, I'll play her, I'll do some damage with her, then I'll take her back into hand and start canceling drains and battle destinies. Like,
just so you know, Fenrout is a guy.
Is he? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, you're thinking of Bo-Katan.
He is in full Mandalorian armor. I am not going to guess gender. And I don't know who the character is. Whatever.
You need to catch up on your Star Wars as we see Brian Fred go. There goes Maul. The Sun Shield comes out for Ryan.
I'm fine. I don't know who Fenrow is. I'm fine with that.
Or B. Fred gets out. There's the Maul's double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, this is all exactly what both players are expecting for a start.
That's a good point. Thank you, Matt. I like that little bit of info there. Matt saying in chat, Agents of the Court was one of the decks we talked about as a reason to play Shadow Collective. Maul protects your battle destinies, and Ryan seemed to be playing escape pods rather than We're Doomed combo. So I like the inside. Thank you, Matt, Harrison Trainer. I believe you already made it to the top 4, so big congrats on that.
He is. He will be watching this to see who he may be facing next round if he can get past Chris Werfs, who always quietly makes deep runs.
So Chris Werfs took down Casey?
Chris Werfs took down Casey. And Chris Werfs always just, he's not super
he's
active online.
Consistent.
You don't always see a lot, but he's consistently good and just consistently puts himself in a position where you're always like, I got to worry about playing Chris.
Yeah,
Chris is a good player.
I was going to say, he feels like he's the Kansas City Chiefs, but everybody likes him still.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give him Kansas City Chiefs. I think he's like the Houston Texans back when they had Matt Schaub.
Oh, okay. So then you're
like everybody kind of liked him. They were always a threat to be everywhere, but they've never quite taken down the big one. And that's kind of where Werfs is at right now.
So you're saying Joe Olsen is the Kansas City Chiefs?
I mean, have you ever seen Joe Olsen and Patrick Mahomes in the same place?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, I mean,
yeah, you know what? I like that analogy. Let's go with it. Joe Olsen is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and we see Ryan just
Ryan is
all his stuff out.
Yeah, he's throwing everything on the board, and I like it. Why not?
I like it. So now I'm a little curious if Ryan did something like throw in a gift. Because you're running all this,
there's an escape pod.
There's the escape pod, the escape pod V, but non-combo.
And Briefred's going to grab the escape pod non-V, or the escape pod non-combo. Sorry. I don't know if I like that, just because, like you said, if he is running the non-combo.
I mean, if he's running the combo, if he's running the We're Doomed non-combo, that, he's got to get down a lot of force.
Yeah.
Before he can start playing,
he's got to get under 15, and at that point, it's just like,
if he's under 15,
you're probably already lost.
B Fred's super happy. If he's under 15, B Fred is like, okay, well, now I'm winning. On the other hand, I have definitely against Shadow Collective snap grabbed Masterful Move, simply for the I don't need you tracking a 6 around.
That's a good point. Yeah,
and I've never really felt bad about it.
I mean, the only other card, Wounded Warrior can get a little annoying.
You're never going to have a guy alone here. I'm
just saying, Wounded Warrior feels a little annoying. Yeah. We also don't know what other kind of tricks Brian Fred is playing. If he's playing Always Thinking with your stomach. I mean, the only reason I'm bringing that one up is because, like, I know Team 5 likes to play those weird little cards, but then again, New Allies versus Team 5, that's like talking Kansas City Chiefs versus...
And there was an escape pod combo as well.
Yeah, and he lost it from his hand. Interesting. As we see an alternate friendly fire, so kind of an interesting move from Brian. Like, I mean, Brian now thinking to himself, man, I grabbed the right card.
Yeah, and Charlie saying in chat that B-Fred's just going to go for a very conservative play. Don't open yourself up to getting beat down. Yep, that's...
Yeah, no, I like that. Although
that's a smart play.
And losing the Zuckuss and Forlom and Miss Hunter feels kind of bad because you really wanted to get them up to space to utilize Gall.
Yeah, well, without...
I know
if he doesn't drop a no escape here.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can get the first light up there.
I also feel like Ryan probably doesn't have a ton of space. Like, if you can get first light up there with a couple pilots, I think you're just as good.
Yeah, and like you said, like the no escape would be good here. But yeah, I agree with Charlie. Is like wondering if Ryan is running the extra keep your eyes open. If he is, Point Man would be a really good card to grab.
Yeah, there's and Ryan doesn't actually have a grabber out yet.
Well, no,
he's got 3
Ryan
shields out, and he does not have a grabber.
Red has 2.
Yeah, and that might be why if he had the tentacle in hand, that makes the escape pod grab make even more sense. Like I have zero issue. Well, I was already generally okay with that, and
now I'm 100% okay with it.
With the tentacle in hand, I'm like, cool, do your thing, bro.
And that's the thing. He had it in his hand because he drew. Like, he would have gotten it before he grabbed the escape pod V.
And there we see Hondo with a blaster. I kind of think you're going to move Maul over there.
Probably going to move Maul to Tatooine.
You think so? You think you move Maul to Tatooine and go all in? I would be worried about leaving a guy alone.
Maul is very hard to get rid of.
Maul is low power, though. And this Agents in the Court deck wants to just drop a bunch of power on you.
You're also talking to somebody who has not played against this Agents in the Court deck.
I've played against it, and it can drop a scary bunch of power and draw power destinies and... leaving either Hondo or Maul alone, especially when you don't have Incon out, feels really bad.
And that's, I think, what you're...
And in all honesty, I think if Ryan's got the cards in hand, I could go after him either way.
Yeah.
Like, even with him moving Maul there, I think you try and kill the...
Well, I'm saying
you try and kill the guns.
In the chat, a far better player than both of us, Matt Harrison Trainer, is saying it's a little harder to drop a lot of power off of Tatooine. And Hondo and Maul are both currently off of Tatooine.
Mostly because you get to battle for free at your battlegrounds with steady. But he does have more battlegrounds on table, so subtract 1 cost from 1 Imperial or from 1 alien.
Yeah.
Being deployed, and right now Brian does not have Gall, so
no, that's a good point.
I will say if I'm Jellison and I've got 3-4 characters in hand and I can make a run at it, I think I make a run at them now just because if you can kill the blasters, Shadow Collective is going to be much more limited in the damage they can do.
That's true.
And they can't save the blasters right now.
And there's there's
Arleos.
Yeah, the light side version of Chawl.
Yep.
And there
goes and grabs the Mandalorian.
Heavy interesting Mando. And there's the wild card. Interesting to put the wild card out there. I mean, yeah, you got to think that B-Freds only has the first light at this point, but the first light is a poolable ship that's going to get +2 to your destiny if you draw destiny. So cool.
I think Ryan is counting on getting some stuff up there. Like, he just drew Calfal off of Maz.
Yeah.
And I would expect Calfal goes up there as well. Or
Nope,
Calfal might shuttle up. Well, she might shuttle up. Maybe. Like this, I could see the...
Are we sure that
Here's the heavy
Calfal is a
Mandalorian.
she? Because you said, first of all...
Calfal is absolutely a she. A female Korsov.
Okay.
She's a very protective mother. That's why she kills Kitty Cadet.
Who?
Cat.
How do you spell? Can you say that again for me?
Kadek.
Okay.
The 8-power alien from Premiere who's deploy 6 and forfeit 2. I might not know the new cards, but the old stuff, I can remember. I don't remember why I walked into the kitchen 20 minutes ago, but asked me about a card I last looked at 15 years ago, and
I mean,
it's immediately lost at the same site as the overprotective mother, Calfal and Syndros.
And Jellison he's leaving everybody all alone. Calfal's all alone.
So
Dice is all alone.
So the Mandalorian moves as a react.
Yeah, but
I don't love Calfal alone there because the Mandalorian moving over, you're not getting a Battle Destiny still.
Yeah, as we see, Beefrez going to go get Dryden Voss. So he misses a pull on the first light. So it either tells me
he already has the first light.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have the Hujix there, Charlie. Yeah, you're right. But again, this just seems rough, you know?
I think he's basically saying, I have to go hard. I need to cause a bunch of damage, and this is my way of doing it.
As we see Yoxkit go lost from the ping from You'll Be Dead.
Yep. There's the Incon from hand.
There's Incon losses.
Well, like I said, I think based on what was in his hand, I don't know that he could have necessarily gone hard at that mall site, but I feel like that might have been the play.
Going down, gonna go get a gun.
I think he's using Voss to get the gun so he can use the objective to get the last site if it's in there.
Well, I mean, Voss gets himself a gun when he's deployed, so I mean, that's kind of nice.
You just want to get the 0 out of your deck, too. Well, it's really a question of, is he going to go first light to Gaul to make this real interesting?
And Hondo's going to get, Arsenal with blaster rifle coming out as well. Yeah, if we see the first light here, that could be really bad.
Yeah. Shizor would also be good. Shizor is adding...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Shizor at that point is just a win more because you're doing nasty things in this battle if you put a guy at Gaul.
Yep, there's Kira going down to the first
Ryan
light. This tells me we might see a first light. Well, actually, no, not anymore. Never mind. He's got Dr. Everzan and Ponda Baba.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is...
Yeah, it's not good.
Ryan might have a keep your eyes open. Like, I think that might be the play. And we did see that Brian just played Point Man to grab a card first. Yeah. But, this is not a good spot for Ryan.
No, not at all.
So, because I expect we'll see here, he's up a bunch in power.
Yeah, and, I mean...
I think you shoot the Mandalorian. You just kill the Mando and...
Well, the Mandalorian is a little harder to hit because he has armor.
Yeah,
but giving him the ability to fire the flamethrower at somebody.
Yeah, if you shoot the Mandalorian with that 4, you could have made a 5 with Maul.
And Dr. Everzan operates on
stop any shot.
Yeah.
Which would have been...
Yep.
Much, it would have kept all of your guys alive versus
our Wolfman friend goes to the lost pile.
I expect we'll shoot at Dre and Ponda. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the Hujix, but
just making him use it here just feels kind of...
Yeah.
Having to use it here just feels bad. I mean, he should be able to cancel a Battle Destiny.
Why? You're right, he theoretically could, but why bother?
Yeah.
If you're gicking the battle, let the Battle Destiny go so you can use Fenrau to cancel it another time. There's absolutely no benefit to...
If he gets to the Battle Destiny point, because... Okay, Dryden Voss takes a shot, misses. Now I can add one.
There would be no reason not to get to the Battle Destiny point.
Maul protects from the Battle Destinies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there would be no reason not to get to Battle Destiny
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot Maul cancels the Battle
Like,
Destiny because
you
the
are up
Blaster is there.
by 11 power.
Yep.
You have a Destiny power plus a Battle Destiny. He has nothing. Like, force the Hujix out.
Yeah. Grab the Hujix.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the Hujix here. 100%.
Like, throw it on Tentacle and just be like, you can't get it back, and say
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep. Yep, there goes Dre.
Yep. And that's where, again, I think I would have shot. I'd have counted on the fact that the Destiny in my deck is very high. I can add one with Maul.
Yep.
And
B. Fred listens to us. I'm scared
if
now.
you shoot the Mandalorian first, Dre and Ponda live. So, yeah, B. Fred stacking the Hujix is bad.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Ryan only has an 8-card hand.
He's still got with Dre and Ponda being gone and the fact that he doesn't have Gaul.
Yeah,
it is still a potential because he can drop a lot.
But
of
I was going to say,
there.
with the Wolfman gone as well,
I mean, your first guy drops there for -2.
True.
It's -1 from the trade route, -1 from steady. You've got 21 force.
Yeah, and Maz is up in space right now.
Yeah, so you're going to see, I expect we'll see a drain of 3 here, and then it's going to be everybody he can throw at them and hope. Plus, if he's got any of the guys that proc off of I Must Be Allowed to Speak or Ray, he's even adding more cards. So, yeah, I mean, MHT's correct that this probably isn't going to be as big of a beating as you'd like to think it would. Although now that Mandalorian and used is a guy you can go get.
True.
And start doing
wrong there. As we see, yep, B-Fred pulls
nasty things. So
Maz pulls.
Oh,
hey,
it's
look,
it's
our Wolfman again. Yeah.
All right. That is potentially not great.
Yeah, and we see Ryan is checking out the Destiny.
I will be honest, if he did something like, here's a 3PO, walk him in and put a gift on him, I would
laugh.
That would be hilarious. It'd be like, all right, fine, I'll lose 3.
And here we go, Wolfman coming down for 2.
Yep. So this is the turn for Jellison.
100%.
Like he needs, and there's Din. He needs this turn to go huge. And there's the barrier.
There's a barrier, so that's cute.
Now does Jellison
is going to grab it.
Doesn't have an answer, I don't think. Like,
yeah, the barrier sticks.
Yeah, with grabbing it and not being able to have an answer, that might be it.
Like I said,
there's Chewie.
Yeah, Chewie gets him to use power pool.
Yep. Which is cute, but like,
I mean, the power is going up a bit. Again, having
Lando could be good.
Yeah, Lando could be really good because you just bounce the Dryden Voss, and then you can.
Oh, you exclude Aura.
No, you exclude Dryden Voss because then you can cancel the Battle Destiny.
Dryden Voss doesn't draw a Battle Destiny if you exclude Aura.
Oh, either or. Touche.
So.
Talls.
That's.
And now Ancient Watering Hole is way into effect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, Watering Hole just hit because you were at 5.
Oh, wow.
Cal, Dice, Arleal. Oh no, you're at 6. Never mind.
Yeah.
Cal, Dice, Arleal, Din,
and
Chewie.
Another use power pool, and this is what you guys were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like he can drop a ton of power here, and
Yox
get to cancel and redraw if he draws an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is Brian needs the Gick here because otherwise, yep, he's targeting Dryden, so he is going to try and exclude with Lando, I think, which I think is the right play.
I agree.
But I said you exclude Aura.
3 Battle Destiny.
All of a sudden,
it's going to be 2.
Yeah, because Din's going to get excluded. So it'll be a Destiny power plus 2 Battle Destiny.
If Din gets excluded. So
Yeah.
it all comes down to like, yep. So
He
he's
does
going to
go
exclude
for
Aura. So yeah, he was
Aura,
listening to
so-
you.
I mean, as he should have. Oh, that's
That's bad.
brutal. That's unfortunate.
A little bit.
And he couldn't Yox get that, which is what he really needed.
Yeah, Ray was the one card he did not want to see there, probably.
Yeah. That was I mean, he's still going to potentially cause some serious damage here, but it's not nearly as bad. Like,
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, there's no guns, but it's a lot of power. It's a power, Destiny to power. It's Destiny to Destiny. And that's not going to hit Lando.
That's also good for Jellison, though, because now whatever he hits, he just talses.
Yeah.
And he's totally okay with that.
Well, he went after Lando, missed on the Lando.
Yep. So the other shot,
yeah, you got to go for the talls.
Screw you, talls. That also means the talls can't be forfeited for.
Yeah. So he should have won with the talls.
Oh no, never mind. It's target hit, and you can activate one. It's the Black Sun Blaster, so it doesn't matter. You go to the talls.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, you don't go for the talls first because if you hit the talls first, then you're always just gonna be like, oh well, I'll forfeit the talls to, restore the other guy.
True, that's fair.
Like nothing on the talls says if he's hit, he doesn't work. So
both players are getting a Destiny to power.
Yep.
Oh,
there's the 5.
Yep. Ryan draws a 5,
and now 2 Battle Destiny from Ryan.
B-Fred draws a 5. So both players get a 5 to their total power.
Ryan's down 12, which is basically just the sight. 3 for the gun, 6 for
Destiny.
Voss. Yeah. So, but it's 3 for the gun, 6 for Voss, 5 for Aura is like 14. So he's only going to be down a few force here.
No, he's not.
There's a 7. Let's see what he draws here.
I mean,
no, I mean he's
not good. He's down by 25 right now. Okay,
that's big.
I mean, Ryan is thanking the Star Wars the SWCCG lords out there right now. So down by 17.
He's down by 17. 14, he's got 3, 11, 9, 14 and forfeit. So he's down 3.
Yeah, 3.
Like,
I mean, that's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, if that exclude on Aura goes through,
oh, that would have been huge.
This would be a monster for B-Fred going, all right, well, I need to gick and pray.
Yeah.
100%. Without that going through, he's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, because that saved him 12? No, 13. He would have been down by 13
and
more.
He loses Leia and the top. So he had the gick, so it doesn't matter.
I would just lose the 3 there, though.
Nah, you lose the gick.
No, you're right, because at this point, a lot of Ryan
Jellison's blew his wad. Like, unless Jellison's going to go, here's an Ellis, Jellison's now saying, all right, watering hole is draining at, so I'm draining for 2, 2, and 2. And let's see how this rolls.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like,
and he's got 27 left.
And he needs to stay above 16.
He's not going to be able to play ultimatum at this point, so B-Freight can still drain for 3. He's going to cause 2 points of damage. So like if I'm Brian, I'm just draining and drawing some cards.
Yeah, the only thing I would do if I'm Brian is if I have a ship, I'd throw it at Gaul.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just going, no, fine, I'll drain.
Oh, okay. Thank you, MHT. Yeah, he can still cancel the drains.
Yeah, he can. So that's fine. And honestly, then if you're B-Fred, you just say, fine, I'll just drain for 1.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of make
I don't think I make him prove that he's got the Fenrau. I say, I'll drain for 1
like
and call
that.
it good.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I forgot all about the fact that he can cancel the drains. And that's
I expect we see he'll deploy a gun here on Kira.
Maybe move her up.
And then move Kira onto the ship.
Oh.
There's Proxima. That's fine.
Yeah, Proxima can't do really much of anything.
Means nothing there. There is the blaster. coming from reserve.
Yeah.
That's the Crimson Dawn. So he's still got the Black Sun Blaster in there as well. Because he cycled the Black Sun, and there's the no escape to get back the Gick. So it makes even more sense to play the Gick if you had the no escape.
No, if he had the no escape there,
But again, like, the only card you're worried about right now is Nabrin.
Yeah, and I think once you move Kira up to, like, right now, he's flipped, so he's going to get an additional ping from the objective when it flips back at the end of his turn.
Yeah. And again, like, Nabrin's your only concern. Anything other than Nabrin, you're done. And yeah, I think Jellison is going to spread this turn.
Yeah, he has to.
He didn't have enough force to do a lot of spreading last turn.
Yeah.
He spent every dime he had trying to get that beat down through.
And B-Fred is, he does move Kira up, so, yeah.
Yeah. So I expect, Ryan will put whatever he's got in hand. Like, I could see him shuttling Calthal back down.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, I'm just going to try and cause as much damage as I can, because now he's looking at...
I mean, he's at 23.
4 damage before he cancels anything. Like, he's getting... And that's if he cancels something. Like, he's getting drained for 1 twice.
Yep.
Plus 2 pings off the blaster.
And he activates, and then he's going to Moz, so he reveals the top 3. Again, that's one of the nice differences between Moz and Proxima is Proxima is only in the control. Moz, you can do whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, but Proxima adds a Battle Destiny, which is really good.
But Moz also subtracts from the total, and she works with Ancient Watering Hole.
No, well, she gets immunity with Ancient Watering Hole and adds 1. She does not count as a species.
She has 2.
She adds an extra 1.
Yeah.
So she adds 1.
2.
Wow. 2 instead of 1. So she adds 1 more.
There goes the Black Sun Blaster and Imperial Barrier off the top to the drain at 2 at the trade route.
Brett's fine with that.
At Jabba's Palace. There goes Master will move and the Phantom Menace. So I know that we're seeing this is Shadow Collective versus Agents of the Court. I would have been so happy to see Agents of the Court versus Gammies. Just for the sheer, like, the just for the interesting,
for the lulz,
for the thematics,
like, that would have been I think that's a deck, or I think that's a matchup that just goes very hard Agents in the Court's favor.
Oh, I know.
Like,
but I'm just saying, I would have loved to have seen it just to see it happen.
That would have been
yeah.
That would have been B-Fred getting absolutely wrecked, I think.
Yeah.
Because you lose a lot of the pullable stuff.
Yeah.
And there's Booster in the Skate.
To gold.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, what are...
I don't know, but...
You only have 4 cards in hand. And Fenrau. Okay, so you're drawing a Destiny...
Yeah, unless you have a second Fenrau, I mean...
There's some Mandalorians. I think at that point to be... No, it's only at Tatooine locations.
Yeah.
I'm... Okay. I don't love that play.
How is Brian only at 2 power?
Kira doesn't add anything. Oh. And Mandalorian is... if I'm another Mandalorian here, opponent's total power is -3. From Mr. Fenrau.
Yep, he gets... So, I mean, the First Light is still immune.
And that 2 is a little rough, but it is going to turn into like a 5, isn't it? It's 5 or 6.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 6.
Yeah.
So he's down by... Okay, so cancel... Oh, he takes him in hand.
I'm just taking it in hand. You're totally fine with that.
Yeah,
like, here, I'll get a character back instead.
So
because that also...
It's the gun in 1, I believe. Oh, well, adds 1, so...
Yeah, so it's the gun.
But more importantly, look at... I mean, you're down by 2, which is just the gun going back to the reserve deck, but more importantly, there goes Fenrau, and there goes the Heavy Mando.
Yeah.
And...
Which, like, he can retrieve the Heavy Mando. You're fine with that, but, like...
Yeah, that's just...
That felt like a last gasp from... Ryan.
I
agree with you there. I don't like it at all. Like, I
mean, you're probably gonna move the wild card over to Gaul.
guess.
I mean, but like you said, I think if you're Ryan, you have to spread, but the fact that the Gick is, or your Hujix is on the grabber, that just feels bad.
So, but like, if you're Brian right now, you activate all but 3. You use Proxima to get if one of them's a alien.
Yeah.
You deploy the gun on Kira again.
Deploy somebody else up there.
Deploy somebody else up there, and then you just move Proxima up there and say, "Come get me."
I battle first.
I'm not even sure you have to. And Brian activates everything and says no. So
Brian is going to be able to recirculate on his battle phase when he moves because he's going to be able to flip his objective.
Yeah, a good point. So he does activate everything. He gives up the being able to deploy a gun from reserve and the Proxima pull, which is fine.
Yeah.
So
but he's got an 8-card hand at this
1-1.
point. Yep, there's
the drain cancel.
Yeah, because if he moves somebody up there with a gun, you can't cancel the battle destiny. But I mean, he's losing.
You deploy the gun. That's where I was saying the gun is.
You know where you should know it. Yeah, you should know where the gun is. Yeah, and I get that. I get that. Is the 2 force? It comes down to is the 2 force more important there, or is it the gun?
And honestly, Ryan's below 16 already. Ryan's got 14.
He's at 14.
Ryan only has 16 cards total.
And he's got 2 cards in hand. If you can do 1 more point of damage, which you should be able to do, draw.
You don't even need to do 1 more point of damage. Ryan has 16 cards and no way to retrieve.
Yep, Ryan's saying that should do it.
Yeah. And Dr. E, and there's Dengar with gun.
Or you do this.
Yeah. That's the other option, but that was...
Yeah, if you can hit Chewie and...
That doesn't even matter. Like,
well,
again, you're...
The heavy Mando is going to be able to react over.
Yeah. That's, again, you're... You're still hitting 3 people there, theoretically, but, like, it almost doesn't...
Yeah.
It's immaterial to the game. Like, you could have just drawn up and said... You can't retrieve. I'm winning in loss piles. Thanks for playing.
Yeah. So it does look like
even if he could get those 2 back, but he's not going to be able to, and this is going to end it real quick. There's the flip on the who I answer to. Because at this point you probably move the.
Yep.
You'll move the first light away.
Yeah.
But
and that's the thing. You don't even need the Dr. E there. Oh. Never mind.
Oh, he doesn't even bother.
You didn't even need the Dr. E because you have Gaul.
Gaul doesn't work with permanent weapons.
Touche.
So.
Yeah. Yep. There's another point of force loss.
Yeah. So now Ryan is down to 15 cards. So he has to retrieve.
I mean, he can start retrieving.
He doesn't have anything that's retrieving, though. What is he can retrieve his heavy man? Okay, he can retrieve his heavy Mandalorian.
If he has one in there, because I thought he had one.
He does. No, he lost it from the space battle last turn.
You're right.
The Fenrau plus the heavy Mando, he lost the heavy Mando.
You're right.
Like, he can't get Celebration out right now. He'd have to be waiting another turn. There's no reason not to. I think you're just going to drain and... You're not starting a battle.
I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he drains for 2 at the trade route. Drains for 2 at Gaul. We see Stunning Leader, Lando Dobry combo, Wounded Warrior, and Point Man all lost. Yep, now he retrieves with the objective.
Like, he's not starting any battles this turn.
No, he shouldn't be.
So, there's nowhere. But, like, you move away from Jabba's Palace, you're... giving up that train. So there's Cara Dune. So he says, well, if I'm going down, I'm taking guys with me.
Ray gets a card out of his use pile.
We're going to see a Figrin Dan in the modal nodes just to get the recirculate. And
I mean, that seems like I was going to say, that seems like it's the best option for him.
That's his best option, but like without quite a mercenary to blank Honda's text.
And on top of that, the Gick is in Beefred's hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's... At this point, I think Jellison knows it's over.
Yeah.
Like, again, he's down to 14 cards total because he deployed cards.
Yeah.
So he is below what he needs to win by, even before we start mathing lost piles.
Yep, there's a Fen Rao coming down.
Yep, so he's not going to get the recirculate. He just says, I'm going to load this site up, so if you battle me, bad things happen.
Yeah.
And he would be able to cancel a Battle Destiny if he's got a Fen Rao.
Yes, you're not wrong.
I think you leave the skate at Gaul.
Yeah, I agree. But again, if you're B Fred, he's sitting at 11 in his life force, 3 in hand. That's 14. Yeah, even if he's not going to be a retriever in your turn, just draw up.
Yeah,
I know that's not B Fred's motive. That's not who B Fred is.
But at the same time, this is a match play. You're ahead in the match. Just end it and call it a day.
Yeah, it's Sunday. All of us want to go watch the Jets lose.
Oh, they're down. Last I checked, they were down 24-6.
That's it. Oh, good for them.
It was early.
I mean, that's what happens when you trade your best receiver.
Now it's 31-6. Also, the same score as the Eagles game, which has gotten out of hand a little bit.
That's good.
So, no, that's not good because Jalen Hurts scoring big means I'm now projected to lose one of my fantasy games.
Is that in the Killer Bees League?
No.
Darn.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm winning that one since I did start Jamar Chase, who went for 55 points. Yeah, I'm up by 60 in the Killer Bees League, and he has Goff
let's
left
focus
to
on
play.
this game as we see B Fred is going to drain. He does not activate everything. There's to cancel the drain at the bar.
I mean, Fred is just playing. I think Fred is saying, you know what? If Ryan's going to play this out,
I'm going to play this out. Yeah,
I'll play this out, and that's fine. They both know, I think, at this point where this is going.
Yeah.
I think one of them is just playing for the look. I want I want to have my I want my moral victory. Something's going to happen, because Fred could just deploy a guy and use the recirculate, so then he's got enough destinies to start shooting the heck out of things.
He doesn't even need to deploy a guy.
Well, he's only got 2 destiny right now. So he needs to deploy a guy just to give himself more cards in reserve.
Well, no, because the deploy is not the deploy that recirculates you.
But the deploy moves cards to his used pile that he can then recirculate.
You win.
Because otherwise he's only got the 2 cards, and that's not enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
math hard.
Like Prince Shizor.
I mean, or you just...
Seems like a solid...
Or you just move away.
I mean, you could, but... B. Fred feels like I'm going to go out in style. Let's do some shooting.
If B. Fred wants to go out in style, you initiate the battle and just sacrifice you don't sacrifice any guys, you just take the overflow.
And he might still choose to do that. Ryan...
I mean... It's B. Fred.
B. Fred flips. Is he going to recirculate? Doesn't look like it.
What is B. Fred doing?
B. Fred is running away. Running away, eh?
Fred, okay, I didn't realize that B. Fred had a little chicken in him.
Yes. Brave Sir B. Fred ran away. Bravely ran away. That is as much singing as you will ever get from me on Twitch. I'm just going to apologize in advance to everyone who listened to that.
I'm going to put that. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to actually cut that out of the.
Just turn it into a ringtone.
It's going to be it's going to be a GIF and with the sound. Yeah, it's going to be a ringtone. It's going to be everything I want it to be, and it is going to be on Slack as soon as this game is over.
I love being memorialized in things like that. But Brian, just draws a few. He says, fine.
Yeah.
Drain me for 4. I don't care. And take a ping. There was... so the Guido Mercenary was in reserve. So Brian, I think, was just rightly saying, look, I don't need to walk into the Guido Mercenary canceling my destiny.
Hey, look, Dan has made an appearance.
Yep, there is Figuring Dan and the modal nodes.
I mean,
That
you
might
could,
have been the card he was looking for.
yeah. I mean, you could
Well, no, if
theoretically,
he got it out of his off the top,
yeah.
he would have gotten it before. This is drain a 2 and 2. Like, should you go Figure and Dan into Prince Shizor and
That's what I was actually thinking.
just because, like,
Yeah, but the problem with that
Blaze
is
of
like
Glory?
Shizor has a decent immunity.
you're not. You don't care about immunity. This is Blaze of Glory type fights. Ryan's down to 9 cards total. He needs to win by 16.
Hey, you
Like,
never.
unless he's got 7 copies of First Strike or Draw Their Fire to make things interesting.
That would be awesome.
Yep, there's Figure and Dan. This is just
Yeah.
go out in a Blaze of Glory. Like, I don't think you can play Fenrau with them. Nope, Fen's 4. So,
Fenrir's also on the table still.
well, sure, that's minor setback. Oh, instead, Ryan moves guys around.
Come on, you two.
They're playing this all serious like,
know.
and we're like, all right, Brian won this game 4 turns ago. Now it's just mop up action. And Brian, at some point, Brian has to realize that just draw up and move on. Like, I know this was all scheduled around Ryan Jellison's child taking a nap. So, like, maybe you want to finish this up in time. So if
Yeah.
Jellison's kid wakes up, you can.
Or at the same time, maybe you want to finish it so you can go spend time with Mrs. Jellison.
That could be.
Like,
I mean, I don't know if Miss Jellison is home or not. So maybe we'll find out. Here's the loss of he lost the heavy Mando from hand. Here's another drain of 1. Oh, Brian is going to lose 2 to add 3.
Yeah. I mean,
He says, look, you've only got 1 card in hand.
Exactly. He's only got 1 card in hand.
Yeah. I don't mind taking that risk and saying, look,
And
if you've got a second Fenrau, you've got it.
2 points of damage from the effect.
And it was the local defense combo, so it would have saved somebody from Dr. E.
Okay. B. Fred, can you do 3 more points of damage? No.
This turn, probably not.
Yeah. You can't.
But also, like, you have 9 cards. Just draw.
He's got 9 cards, but that's not the B. Fred way.
Yeah. B. Fred is going to. He says, "Look, Ryan's playing this to the bitter end. Let's go, bitter end." I mean, at this point, you've got to move some guys just to put cards in your reserve.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you kind of move Shizor in front of Ray.
Yep.
Like, you have the Gek. The Gek is still in his hand. You move somebody. You just put.
You move Shizor. You move the other 3 back to Jabba's palace.
Because there's no way that
Ryan's
Ryan's not going to have.
And that gives you the cards in reserve to go, okay, I'll eat a drain of 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ryan doesn't have the ability to drain for more than. Like, he cannot initiate at multiple spots. So I would say leave 1 guy in front of that stack.
I wouldn't even bother.
And move everybody over to the farm.
Whatever. No, move him in front of Jabba's palace. I don't like. I mean, Brian's got the Gek. It doesn't matter, but you only left 1. Like,
yeah, he's got the Gek.
So
he's got the Gek.
He's got the Gek. He's going to get drained for 4.
Yeah, it goes from the force pile.
It's more. Ryan has 2 force left total. Like,
I mean, he can initiate 1 fight, recirculate with Dan.
Yeah, and I mean, he initiates for free at his battlegrounds, but
oh, that's a problem. Then he can't recirculate with Dan. Oh, he can recirculate after he retrieves 1.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, he can recirculate now. Yeah,
he's totally fine. He's got this.
Let's go. I believe in you, Ryan.
Go. 2 fights there. He does. Oh, he retrieves again with Dan.
Oh my gosh! And he fights for free. This is over.
Yeah, I mean, he's all over this.
Oh yeah. And
there's the recirculate. Yep.
Yeah, and he's got a 4 on top.
I don't even know what B-Fred's dropping fanfare for there, just because.
Because he wants to check out his destiny.
Just because, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And we have a fight.
okay. I assume Beefred just holds to draw Battle Destiny. Oh, he can't even draw Battle Destiny because Lando's going to exclude.
He can draw Battle Destiny.
No, you can't. I don't think you can
Yeah, he
decline the Lando
targeted-
draw.
Well, no, I'm saying. Oh, you're right. You can't.
Like he runs out of cards.
Dengar is gone.
Fine.
Uh-oh, Beefred's in
You
trouble.
have the Gick.
Beefred is
You've
totally
got
in trouble.
11
Nope,
and
nope.
forfeit there.
Or you don't worry about that. You just lose the 5 cards from your reserve deck.
That's if Brian was willing to do
That's
that,
the
Brian
Beefred.
would have drawn up 3 turns ago.
Yeah, I know.
This is not the Beefred way.
What's the Beefred way?
He's down by 12 here by my math. Oh, a bunch more. Never mind.
Yeah.
So he's down by 16. You're losing 11 there, plus the Gick. And nope, Brian says finally, fine, I'll lose it all.
Oh my.
Now he says I'll draw. And he peels the battle damage. Congratulations to Brian Fred, being the
Yes.
first player in the championship round.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, he is. MHT versus Werfs hasn't happened yet, so
Well, no. I mean, Beefred's in the top 4, right?
Beefred is now in the top 2.
What?
There's only 4 players left.
Where
Beefred,
have I been?
Jellison, MHT, and Werfs. And Beefred just advanced, so Beefred is in the championship
Oh my
round
gosh.
against the winner of Werfs and MHT.
Huh.
So
Oh.
that seems totally reasonable. And
No, it doesn't. Well,
I'm
all
sorry
I know
you
is
forgot.
shush. So yeah, big congrats to Beefred. Here's our bracket, everybody. As
Oh,
I
you're bringing that up.
just
All right.
updated it.
Nice.
So congrats to Beefred. Beefred again has the honor of facing down Chris Werfs, the winner of Chris Werfs and Matt Harrison Trainer. They will again be playing at least one game tomorrow. So make sure everybody tunes in for that. And then once we have the winner of that game, it's going to be Beefred versus whoever. So big congrats to Brian Fred.
Very big congrats to Brian making the championship game. Championship round is no small feat. He's played a lot of very, very good players to get here.
Seed too.
He's Fred wasn't the 8. I thought Fred was the 14.
Oh yeah. In the
Because
bracket.
Jellison was the 9. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Jellison was the 9 in the bracket. That's why he got to pick the pairing.
Yeah.
Because of that. So no, I mean congratulations to both of them.
Yes.
Congratulations
both
to
well
Ryan
played.
Jellison. Like top 4 in the OCS is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. That's a heck of a showing.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you everybody for watching. I think I'm gonna go eat some dinner here. My wife came down and double checked that I would like to eat things, and
We know that.
I do like to eat
Yeah.
things. Yes, I think I got wild rice burgers, so I'm pretty stoked right now. I'm a big fan of those.
Nice. Well, again, thank you everybody for watching. It has been a pleasure. Until the next time, enjoy yourselves. Be safe, and as always, may the force be with you. Good night, people.